Hey, good morning, everyone. Good morning, good morning, good morning. Let's check all the back end. For some reason, it would not load. Don't know why, but it would not load. Let's have a look. 12 of you in the building. Let me just check that it's working volume-wise. Let's get rid of that advert. Yes, you can hear me. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Right then. So how is everybody doing? Good morning, good morning, good morning. The sun is still shining. So yes, Stina, the sun is still shining, which is good. I can't complain about that. Now, as you know, this is the last live stream that we will be doing. I mentioned it yesterday. The reasons why we're doing this. We were thinking of doing it, obviously, towards the end of the year, but our business, the way we do things, the quality of things has taken a little bit of a backseat because we're doing live streams and things like that. So my attention needs to get back to that. If you know the way that I work, I'm very particular in certain things. And I'm not a person to stay in or do things for long once I see certain things working. Now, again, as you know, I don't really want to be an influencer. I want to be known as a trader and a teacher, a coach. So for me, the live streaming and all those types of things and affiliate codes and things like that, they're great for some people, but they just don't align with the way that we want to run 10 wealth groups. So again, most of you know the story from yesterday. So let me just transition of what I was speaking about. So today is the last day. You know where you can contact me. You know my email. You know I'm on Instagram. You also know that you can use the link below any video that you see to obviously get in contact with me if need be. Now, I did release a video yesterday because we're looking now to maybe get back to obviously trying to do even more content. So maybe try and do 2 videos a week, which would be good. For the community, so you get more value in that rather than obviously the live streams. The live streams are good to have a little chat. However, the value comes in the detailed videos and obviously working with myself. So that's where we are at the moment. So today is a huge day, people. And why is today a huge day before we talk about yesterday? Well, because it's a holiday tomorrow. All right. It's a holiday tomorrow. So more than likely, no one will be trading tomorrow. Should I say tomorrow? Yeah, holiday tomorrow, so no one should be trading tomorrow. So today is the last trading week, okay? For most people, today is the last trading week. And that means that because there's a break tomorrow or a holiday, NFP has been pushed forward by 24 hours. So the non-farm payrolls are today. So if you're thinking what happens later on today around about 1:30 UK time, why a massive spike, what's going on, I got stopped out. It's because you must be aware that NFP is today. Exports and imports, initial jobs claims, average hourly earnings, everything is at 1:30 today. So I'm not expecting anything to really move at the moment. I am in a short. I'll currently show you the short that I'm in at the moment, but I'm not expecting anything. And I'm actually expecting that will be me for the week. And I'm just above break even for the week. It's been quite slow the last couple of weeks for me. Not really give us a lot of the way that we like to trade. Markets have not been great for the way that we like to trade. But again, as long as you're break even or green, even better if you're green, but you're still winning in the game, because most people have lost absolutely everything on the last 2 weeks. Ridiculous amounts of money and funded accounts. So that's just something to be aware of today. You've got a big day today. Big day today. Okay, so be aware of that. So let's see who is in the chat. Good morning, Prada. What a name. What a good name, Prada. Good morning, Danny. Good morning, Alex. Good morning, Assam. Hope you are all good. And like I said, this is the last live stream we will be doing. So make sure that you've got the notifications of normal videos on as we release more content. If not, follow me on Instagram as well, and you will see that right there. I'm sure many of you will be joining us in the future. So again, I must illustrate that. We're not going anywhere. We're just not doing live streams. All right. So as you can see on the book map below me, 22,900 is the biggest contracts. Above that, 22,920. But 22,900, there is contracts sitting at that level, which is about 22 points away from now of where we are right now. So that's where the liquidity is. We could go and grab that liquidity in reverse. I'm not too sure how the market's going to go. We've got all-time highs very, very close. And will the market obviously say, well, it's going to be all-time highs today off NFP, or will we have a dump before, then the pump, or will we have the pump and then the dump? Just let me close the door because it might be a little bit of an echo. So just keep that in mind when you are thinking about getting into a trade today. Not, oh, I'm going to hold. It's going to be the top of the day, and I'm going to make $10,000 today. Those types of things. Just step away and think about, would you be happy with $200, $300 for the day's work? If you would, then off you go and do what you need to do. No way. Why are you lives ending? Thought Feeder, I briefly went over it yesterday, but even though it only seems like an hour, sometimes your focus can go onto the live stream and you can neglect other areas. So one, I've not read as much. Two, I'm not getting up at my normal morning times. I'm getting maybe staying in a little bit. Three, I've not been listening to my abundance meditation as much. Four, more importantly, is I think the quality's gone down slightly in relation to how much I trade, when I trade, and that can then obviously affect the people that I work with. So I want to keep giving more and more and more to the people that I work with. So I think that live stream and things like that takes the attention away from the core values of what we are at 10 Wealth Group, which is coaching and getting people to become full-time traders. So that's why we're going away from that in the live streams, because the value that it brings from the input is not enough ROI for me on the mission that I'm on. And I could utilize that time by building and getting through my bottlenecks and all those types of things and my scripts and things like that in my sales side of things. So again, that's why it's just one of those things that needs to be parked at the moment. But most of you watch the main videos anyway, so you'll get most of it from there. So no more live streams. Oh man, this was good in the boring trading life. Anyways, I've seen people doing subscriptions on TikTok for live. One dude charging for live. Elaborate that a little bit, Danny. Yeah, so anything low entry barrier or low, I'd stay away from, because they're not the type of traders or the type of focused people that I want to work with. Okay, so anyone that's, and I'm not, if it's cheap, it's cheap. But for me, I've always been taught, if it's cheap, you got to buy twice, maybe 5 times. So for me, the subscription things of £50 a month, we tried them earlier on in our journey. £49 a month for this and that. I don't really mess around with that stuff. One, because it just brings a lot of people who are just trying a quick in and out. And I want to build a community, an organic community where people are around. The people that I work with, some of them in the chat, they've been with me now for over a year. And they don't necessarily always pay for the year. They've been on with me and then they've just stayed in contact. They have my personal WhatsApp and we'll build. And I'll know these people that I work with now, hopefully for forever. And I'll see their journey and goes like, that's what I want. But when you do cheap Discord, people are in and out. They'll try this Discord, they'll try that Discord. They're not the type of traders that we want to be within our 10 Wealth Group. We want to build traders who can then do really well, and then maybe they can then learn how to build their own business and invest in real estate and all things like that. That's the way that we are going, and the way that I want to go. So great idea, but it's not for me. TikTok crowd is not for me. TikTok crowd is not going to be able to afford to work with me. So you have to be particular and strategic in the way that you do things. How about infrequent streams, one a month? Maybe one a month might work. We'll see. We'll see if it works. Thanks for your influence over the last several months. Lots of good food for thought. All the best in your business. No problem at all. Okay, I see you. Yes, you are correct. Yeah, just to try. You got to think about what you're doing. So, Anthony's. Good morning, Fran. R.I.P. Diego Jota. What? I have to check this out before we go into the news. No way. No way. A fatal car crash that killed Diego Jota and his brother Andre Felipe took place less than 2 weeks after his wedding. No way. The car, a Lamborghini, left the road due to a tire blowout while overtaking another car. The car set on fire and they've basically been burned alive. Wow. You know, when you're driving a car, you don't think that if you're not holding the wheel correctly, if a tire blows, I don't know if any of you have ever been in a car when a tire was blown. If you are not holding that wheel, it's a mess. It's a mess. Wow. Thoughts and prayers go out to his family. What a player, what a guy. Young age, died in a car crash. So sad. So sad. That is really sad. That is so sad. I'm just listening to Abundance, what I used to listen to in the morning. You've got to, yeah. Okay. Right, okay. So, right, so let's go to the higher term time frame. And sorry, those kind of things kind of hit me hard, because when everybody thinks they've got everything sorted, they've got all these riches, they've got all the fame, they're living their dream, and all those things, it really don't matter. It really don't matter when that can happen at 28 years old, you know? Good time for reflection. Right. Let me get focused again on this. Okay. So again, thoughts and prayers to his family. How sad. He's just been married as well. It's just crazy. Was it before his wedding or after? It's just crazy. So as you can see on the higher term time frame, we just go to the 1 hour here. All right. Sorry if I keep going in and out of me doing this, okay? So just forgive me if I go in and out, because I can't concentrate at the moment now with that. So just, bear with me if I do go in and out. So as you can see, we had this level here, which was crucially important for the bulls, okay? And then as we was mentioning that, if we come down to that level, I think it was it, no, it wasn't yesterday. Yeah, was it yesterday? No way. Yeah, it was yesterday on the New York Open. I was coaching and we were saying this could be the level that it's going to bounce now, but it was just before the New York Open. And I tell people, obviously, don't be trading just before New York or even the first 15 minutes. And the entry was at the New York Open. Very, very high risk. Again, if you took the risk, high reward. We know that it could have worked out. If you didn't get a setup and you took the risk, questionable whether that's a winning trade, even if you did win, but one, good for the journal. But if you didn't take the trade because it didn't fit your rules, then again, well done, and you didn't miss out because that wasn't your trade setup. So as you can see on the 4 hour term time frame, we bounced from that level perfectly. And then more importantly, what happened then is we broke back above this zone here that was going to be an important zone, all right? Just purely looking at price action, you can see what is going on here, right? Very, very important. You can see what's going on here. You've got this now that could potentially now be an inverse head and shoulders. Whereas yesterday we was looking at this here, that this could possibly be there, and we was looking at that head and shoulders there. But the latter has now played out. So potentially, as long as this holds 22,800, this will then continue to move to the upside. Okay, so that's something that you really, really need to be looking at. Now, if you look at this here, what you've got is this is on the 1 hour term time frame. So we're above the point of control. Look at the red line. The point of control is at that 22,800 zone. All right. So as long as it holds above that point of control, it's going to remain bullish. If we lose that point of control and start to drop, I think below the point of control and start to hold below, say 22,780, we could see more downside back to in this horrible trade zone. So again, it's not very clean. It's not great price action at this moment, but it's very clean as in relation to, you can see the structure on the higher term time frame. That then brings me to where we are on our chart at the moment. So let me go down to the 15-minute term time frame and to show you what I mean by yesterday. In fact, 5-minute term time frame. So on the 5-minute term time frame yesterday, as I say, I was coaching, and we had this. We had this yesterday. We came down to that major zone. Then we had this shift candle here. Now I'm not going to chase that shift candle, but what would have been a nice setup yesterday would have been if we did come back down into, say, this zone here, right? That would have been the nice. And I was saying, if that happens, say 5, 10, 15, 20 minutes into New York, say you get a wick down here, that could have been your entry for this continuation to the upside. Now, again, the move played out, but it didn't give you the entry that you wanted. So for me, that's not, oh, I've missed this trade. That wasn't my setup. It's not the time of the day. There's two ways to think about that. There's one that's going to say, oh, that's my trade. I lost out all this money, even though it didn't give you your entry criteria. Or it's, at the end of the day, it's not my entry, so I've missed it. I'll let it go. The latter is the way you should be thinking, all right? The latter is the way you should be thinking. If you've taken this trade and it did not have your strategy, do not be patting yourself on the back because your account looks bigger. Because that's going to happen many times and you're going to lose all your money, all right? So don't take any grace in not sticking to your rules. Then what happened? We moved up, we consolidated overnight. And this is what's happening right now in the London. You can see, you could have that there, something like that. Could have something like that. We're in this stair-stepping channel to the upside, which is either going to elevate down or move back up. We are 20 points in the profit on this one. So we're 20 points in the profit. I let everybody know in the Discord that we were 20 points in the profit. Now what I like to do, because I'm 20 points in the profit, I am going to just...
Order filled. Order filled.
A couple off. And I'm going to move my stops to break even now, just because we have made a 20-point move. All right. I'll take some off here, but this could be the beginning. Quite happy to just try and sniper a few $100s on this. It's a combined. We've got around about 400 left to try and get that one over the line. So I need to get some more accounts back over the line. Another reason why my live streaming is not going to be happening, because I trade way better where I'm just in my procrastination clock, my abundance money meditation on with the group. Maybe I can just be live trading with the group via Discord, because we did that in the past as well. So that might work. In fact, that's probably the option that I'm going to do. For the members, that would probably be good. So as I was saying, this is what I was looking for, and see if we can break this channel. Now you may be thinking, well, Fran, how did you get in this trade? Well, it's very, very simple. I spoke about it yesterday, and I will briefly show you my concepts. I've just done a video on those concepts, but here is that. Yes, so you can see here. Is it going to work? So why would that not work here? I don't know what's going on here. What's going on here? It's not loading. Is everybody still there, by the way? Seems like the internet's kind of messing around. What is a procrastination clock? It's basically this here, all right? So it's just this clock, and it's just a digital clock. That's all it is, right? And then you press it and it's in alarm. And what it can do, if you're if you're block working, which is something that I used to do, I've not done it as much now, and I'm bringing it back in. There's a lot of things I'm bringing back into my day-to-day. Then deep work. So what you can do, you can press this for, say, 2 hours and do deep work, and then the alarm goes off. And you just put it right in front of you. Now, again, I recommend these, but there's an advert on Instagram for like $30 when they're on Amazon for like $10. And they're just this thing here, and it's just a clock. You can use your stopwatch. You can use anything, but I just use it as a procrastination clock. I gave it a name, so you know when you give things a names, they have more subconscious meaning, etc., etc., etc. But anyway, basically, the video that I put up on YouTube is the way that I trade, right? And this is what I was looking at this morning. It's called the Precision Stack. It's a name that I've come up with just to keep it simplified, and we're stacking confluences and we're stacking our levels for us to get into a trade. It's called the Precision Stack system, all right? That's ours. If anybody steals it, you know where it's come from, because I've just literally made it up via Claude AI, as in the name, all right? So what did we look for? This morning, you can see that we added Asia at 22,890. 22,890. There's that one. I do need to take
order filled
one off. And now I've only got 2 micros running to see if we can catch the high of the day. And then we will see what actually happens. If it comes all the way back up and stops us out, no problem. A couple of $100 banked. So as you can see here, we have a breach of the Asia high. So what am I looking for? I'm looking for liquidity to be grabbed. There was liquidity up here on the book map, as you can see below. Okay. Then we came back into the Asia range with a shift candle that gave me my first trigger that the sellers may be interested in the market. I'm not going to chase the candle. I'm going to wait for a retest of a zone, which was the Asia high, and I'm going to short the market from that. That's what I am looking at. So I'm waiting to see what happens. There's my short, and this was my first target. Okay. That's my first target, right? Now, 20 points, I take some off. So, I take maybe 50% off, and I want to move stop loss to entry, and then I'll go down. So the main target for me has been taken, right? The main target for me has been taken. Now I'm quite happy to let the runners run. If they come back up to my entry point, that's fine. But now what I don't want to do is take the full position out in case this is the high of the day. Or case this is the top for the rest of the day, all right? I repeated myself twice. So then the next level would be Asia low. That would be where I would look to obviously take probably all of it out. And then if it wants to rally all the way down here with 1 micro, maybe it gets here. Maybe we'll take it out and there, and that would be then it. I wouldn't get greedy and try and come all the way down here if that happened. But these lows would be a very, very good final TP. If you left a contract running, that's how I would do that. But that's fine by me. A few $100s on that account. If you've got it across 5 accounts, 10 accounts, then all of a sudden it's $2,000-$3,000 in your pocket, and job done. So that's what I'm looking at the moment. Did anybody else take this short? Let me know. $100 for the funder today. If I said to you, you can work from home, you can do what you want, you can work out, you can be around your family, you can do school runs, you can go to the gym, you can do what you want throughout the day, and I'll give you $100 a day to start off with, and then in a few months I'll give you $200 a day, you'd snap my hands off. You'd snap my hands off. So let's think about what's the average wage. The average wage in the UK. What's the average wage in the UK? All right. So average UK wage after tax, by the way. The average UK wage is approximately 27,000 per year, which translates to about 2,300 per month. It's based on the average gross salary. There you go. So after tax, you're looking at about 2,300 a month is the average wage in the UK. Bear in mind, mortgages are probably at least 60% of that, or rent. All right. So that's around about £100 a day. And people are working 40, 50 hours, you know? So, you know, that's how you got to think about it. Would shorts now be too late? I'm looking at Bookmap as well. Well, 22,880. There is a big order at 22,880. All right. So for me, the only time I would probably look to go and get in a trade would be if we had a spike back into there. That would be my bet on a lower high. So what I would look for now is, that's what I would look for. I wouldn't look for the way that I trade. You may look to trade, but I wouldn't be getting in a short here now. Why is that? Well, we've potentially just taken liquidity from that low there. Wasn't really on Bookmap. I think there might have been something on Bookmap, but we've just taken that liquidity with that spike. So it's very risky to go short here if you're trying to break through the floor. I don't short floors. I don't long roofs. I don't short floors. I don't long roofs. Okay, that's the way that I trade. Yeah. I'll short roofs and I'll long floors. Long floors, short roofs. Yeah. So this for me now would be a long in the floor opportunity, but it's mid-range. You've got all this here. That would be the level that I would want to long if I was going to be looking for longs. But it could bounce from here, of course not, but it's just not the way that I trade. It's not the way that I would look at things. If you look where we are right now, I bet you know, let's have a look here now. This is on the 5-minute term time frame. Let's go to the 15-minute. See if we can get a little bit more data. Zoom in here. Then if this adjusts this, then if that adjusts. I took the short trade, beautiful consolidation. Thank you, boss, no problem. Entrance too late. I drew the short on my chart, but didn't get into it. FOMO setting in now. Don't chase it, Stina. Don't chase it now. Yes, I'm still holding the short with 1NQ, full contract. Nice. Would shorts now be too late? Hey, man, what is your price target? Well, we've tapped the initial first target. Good morning, everyone. Have a blessed day. Procrastination clock. Do you trade with prop firms or do you have live as well? Both TC trades. So I have a live with Phidias, which is taking a little bit of damage at the moment. I've taken 2 payouts out of that, which is good. You know, some people don't take any payouts really, and when they do, they blow it. I've done that many times on XFAs. But so yeah, I have a live one, a live, not a sim live, a live in the markets, the real markets. And I have prop firms, but I've blown quite a few prop firms over the last couple of weeks. So I need to get back to locking in my prop firms and get back to those big figures for payouts. So I have a figure for August, not so much July, because I'm away from the charts all next week. I've got a mastermind in London next week. Can't wait to see some of the community. And then August will probably be the month because we've got the holidays, and you know, my son and I imagine my daughters, they're probably going on holiday, but I'll probably see them and things like that. So summer's quite quiet for traders because they want to get away with their families, you know? So yeah, there are some break and retest traders that will try and get in here. I understand that I understand that they're trying probably get into a short. But for me, you can see why I probably wouldn't get into this short right here. You can see that these highs were a really bit of a nightmare yesterday, and they've now become a local flip level. Okay, let me have a look at what time this was. There you go. There you go. Here's my window, and that's why I got into the trade. There's my window, and that's why I got into the trade. I'll just put these back on the charts now so you can see what I mean by this. So minute 50 to minute 10 is liquidity pockets, where I don't know if it's algorithms, whoever, but people are interested in the market on the hourly. I like that. So if I get a setup at a level between minute 50 and minute 10, again, it gives me that another precision stack on our strategy system. Keep it very, very simple. The way that I trade it is simple. You must keep it simple, because your emotions are going to completely wreck any sort of success that you have in business, in relationships, but more importantly, if you're a trader in trading, the thought process is going to get in the way. I was watching a great interview that my dad sent me the other day about this woman who used to work in Goldman Sachs, and now she's a business owner and all these types of things. And the question was, can anybody get rich? And she said, no, because it's a mindset and it's an environment issue. So if your environment and your mindset is wrong, you have to take years to rewire your mindset to think and get rich. So not everybody can be rich. Not everybody's going to be a good trader. Not everybody's going to be successful. It is a mindset thing that takes you a long time. I'm 45 years old. I've been on a self-development journey now for around about 8 years, because my boy's 8. And just before that, I needed to obviously go on this journey. And I'm nowhere near where I need to be. But that's fine, because that's my journey. So if I'm starting now, imagine starting at 20. But it's never too late to start that. And you need to prepare yourself. And you need to not get put off by timings. Again, the average millionaire is late 40s. Think about that. Okay? But it takes time. You need to educate. You need to rewire. You need to change your environment. You need to change your relationships. You need to get rid of people who are negative. You need to get rid of... there's a lot of work that needs to go on for you to think how rich people think and how successful people think. And what do they do? And the only way you can do that is be around those people. Again, like you say, if you see my Instagram post, to date this year, I've spent nearly $20,000 on one particular mentor. And I did it again. I spent some more money yesterday. Why? Because they have achieved and done the things that I want to achieve in business. So I'm going to tap and use their brain for that to happen. Now, to the average person, you say, that's crazy. Why would you do that? They'll go and buy a car on finance, like what I used to do. Or they'll go and buy loads of designer clothes or a watch or jewelry, rather than spending $25,000, $30,000, $40,000 on people who are going to teach you and be in their head. And that's why I always say to people, if you want to be a trader, go and find someone who's trading full time. That's why I work with people. If you want to be the fittest man on the planet, go and find one of the fittest men on the planet who's completed everything that you need to complete, you know? You need to think differently. You need to think differently. You need to think differently. You need to stop spending money on things that are waste, because I did it for years. I retired from football broke as a professional footballer, and spend money on the things that are going to help you improve. And the hard part is you don't see the result straight away. When you spend money, you want to see the result straight away. So you're normally spending money because there's a result like straight away. Like you can pick up the item, yay, look, show everybody, look at me, I got a new car, I got a new watch, got a new handbag, I'm at a fancy restaurant. When realistically, you've not spent any money on any books. I brought these 2 books yesterday, by the way. This one, go and check out this book. And I've not put it at the top. In fact, yeah, I have put that one Have I put that one at the top? Yeah. And thinking in systems. Thinking in systems. And I know what you're going to say, but Fran, you still haven't read the other books. I know. That's why I have to cut back on the live streaming, because I need to start reading, try and get a book done a week, you know? Anyway. I'm going off on a tangent again. Ricky's funny. Ricky's not here. He's on holiday, but he always laughs when I go on a tangent. But at the moment in time, when it comes to trading people, it's very, very simple. Get a system, follow the rules, and you'll be successful. So mine is a precision stack system. We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 steps. It's not a lot of steps, obviously, because that's your foundation to execute the trade. All right? They're the things. Very, very simple way of trading. Don't need any indicators. You don't need any indicators. Look, there's no indicators on my screen. None. Yes, you can look at Bookmap. 22,880 is it. We're consolidating now. Price is going to decide what it wants to do. Book's gone thin again. And you go from there. Yes, I took a trade short, Kafer. I'm still in that trade at the moment. I've locked in 5 micros, take 3. 60% I've locked in. I'm just going to let the rest run. Quite happy with that. It is a combine. I'm only looking to take, I was risking $180. So, we'll see what we get out of this so far. And we'll see if there's going to be a runner. We'll see if it's going to be a runner. We will see. I'll take another one off at these lows, 22,834. And then I'll leave one tiny micro, just one micro, to see if it's the high of the day for the rest of that. Get this over the line, build a buffer, then we can start going to minis on this. I'm not trading my live account on Motive Wave now for about 10 days. I will miss you guys. Stina, I speak to Stina every day in here. I will miss you guys from the live streams. But you know where I'm at. We've got bigger things to be building. Fran, since you are no longer going to be live streaming, do you think you will be doing some videos with chart analysis and things like that? Fingers crossed. The only thing about that, Stina, is value, really. Maybe I'll sprinkle something every so often about analysis and things like that. But there's so many things out there that I need to think. I'm very strategic in what type of content. Now, psychology is the biggest thing in trading, so I do a lot of that. And the way that I trade, I maybe do like the video I did yesterday. So, this is what I do. But actually, analysis and things like that, probably won't do that, to be honest. Probably won't do that. Maybe in the future, things will change, and I'll keep that within the community, to be honest. My zodiac sign, I'm a Taurus. Why no more live streams? So I can concentrate giving you more quality in the community, Cal. I feel like a tiny little bit has been taken away from that, and I want to put more back into the OGs and the community behind the scenes, to be honest, and keep building 10 Wealth Group. I think we could build a lot quicker and a lot better. Just give you more in the background, maybe some more resources, and maybe just something else. There's something I'm thinking which way we're going to go about it. But the main thing is I need to be doing the back end and building 10 Wealth Group. So and giving a little bit more in the morning analysis as well, I think. It's true. It's mindset. The good thing is that you set a good example for your kids to learn from. They have someone to look up to and learn from. An example. Hey, try telling my kids that. But I think deep down, they do watch what I do, because they're always looking at my Instagram stories, my older girls. My boy is always around me. So he sees the things that I do. He sees I work out every day. He sees how I treat his mum. He sees how I protect the family. He sees things. So yeah, it's very, very true. Just actions. Psychology is BS. It's awareness of the context. Well, it depends what you want. I would disagree massively that it's BS. Psychology is the reason people are successful or failure. But again, that's your opinion. Awareness of the context is psychology. Without psychology, you won't have awareness. It's impossible to have awareness without psychology. So the only way you get awareness is by building a strong psychology. So in a way, you've kind of contradicted what you've just said, Elite Trader. Steve Spot, I appreciate you all the way from Nairobi, Kenya. Your psychology videos have really, really helped me in the last month. Hope to talk with you someday. There you go. I'm glad that you found value in that. Taurus here. There you go, Steve. I knew that Stina was universally connected. I just knew it. So yeah, I'm Taurus. Oh yeah, but still be on YouTube. Yeah, we're gonna try and release an extra video on YouTube. So you've probably seen Sundays and Mondays. I like to get one out. So Sunday we're gonna concentrate on Sundays, and then on the Wednesday, try and get one out there as well on the Wednesday, and try and mix it up. Not every Wednesday. I don't want to be one of those that has to do this and has to do that. That's not how I work. I like freedom. But yeah. The usual stuff. People find massive value in that. You can tell by the views. You can tell by certain things. And YouTube is a business card. And it's also a testing platform. You need to test things. You need to put some edited videos in there. So we're now looking at, maybe we can get someone who edits videos in a high level way of editing videos, not Imad Ghazi style editing. So I don't like that style. But my simplicity way of videos, the way I like things, very, very simple, dark mode, very, very clean. We'll see, so it's an experiment. Everything's an experiment. You're always learning. Thank you so much for all the time and effort you're dedicated to helping us with trading, especially through your free videos. I truly appreciate your support and guidance. No problem whatsoever. That's why we're here. Can you elaborate on this trade you're in right now? What would you like me to elaborate on? S, let me know. What's the question? Remember, 22,880 is the highest liquidity here. 22,880 is the highest liquidity. Now, look closely here. We've taken this low. Okay. Let me just make that in a red. And now we have a reversal pattern to potentially move back to the upside. All right, the way that I trade. Now, what I don't like about this is, for me, trade location. All right, we may have a Fibonacci. It could be, yeah. So I know people in my community now are probably thinking, Fran, is this a buy the dip situation? Now, with me already being in a short here, I could potentially go for a long in my live account here. Just thinking about it. This could be where the buyers step in. This makes sense. So what we've got here, this is a long setup now for me. This is a long setup. This is a long setup. If anybody looking for longs, any pullback traders, this is now potential long setup for me. What time is it? 20 past. Don't like the timing window, but it is 20 to 40. Let's here's a long setup. I've missed it now. I've missed the long setup, so there's no point in me going in it now. That was the long setup. So yeah, I was thinking of going long there on my live account, but I couldn't go long. Didn't do it in time. So this could be the buy the dip situation. This could be the one where you, again, if I wasn't in a short, I would have gone long there. That's my setup for the long. I've only got that. Maybe should have had my funded futures open or Bullanox. Okay, it is what it is. We'll leave it. I'm not going to chase. I'm not going to chase, but that's a long setup for me. Fibonacci, liquidity grab, 3 candle formation, retest, move back to the upside. That's a long opportunity. And there is liquidity at 880. There's liquidity just there. I'll put that in a red so you can see that that's liquidity. That's where liquidity is sat. 66 contracts just sat at that red box. So it could be a lower high. You could be getting this now. This could be the first shift. That could be the case. But that would have been a long opportunity. Stops. I would have brought the stops up looking at the 100 tick chart. I'm not looking at the 100 tick chart now. 100 tick chart. Let's have a look. Yeah, so the long would have been here. No, the long would have been, I'll show you on the 100 tick chart. This would have been the long entry, 22,858. Your stops would have been 10 points down here. Okay, 10 point stop loss, and that would have been your thing. My stops are where the liquidity is. So it seems like everybody else's stops is at that liquidity right there. So we will see. We'll see what happens. I watched your video uploaded on the position stack. Can you show me 3 candle formation? I've gone over that so many times, Kaifa, so I'm not going to be going over it. It's very, very simple. Your third candle needs to be bullish or bearish at the previous 2 candles. Marcos put strong reaction of the previous day close and reaction of the 1 hour fair value. Got S&T on the low as well. That's ICT stuff. Yeah, I don't trade ICT. Very clean. Previous daily high. Fibonacci, liquidity grabbed. Simple. There's your confluences of your confluence stack. Your confluence stack is the levels that you're looking at. Previous daily high. You've got an internal Fibonacci after liquidity. Is it a buy the dip situation? Trade location for me is not great. Why is that? Well, if you have a look here, this was one stack. And then this was then another stack. And then what happens is we've dropped back below this zone. So I'm not a massive fan of then longing when we've dropped back into a previous range. But like I've said, if I wasn't in the short at the time, and I could get my live account up, I would have taken this long because it's my trade setup. It's very, very simple. Very simple. If you want to know how I trade, go and watch the last video. Go and watch the last video and look at the precision stack. It's simple. Where would you put stop loss? Well, if you're long here, your stops need to go below the lows. If you're long in here, so this is your long here. All right, so let's just mark that out. You know why we've got the long. I didn't like the timing window. ICC traders, the future retail. Yeah, ICT. It's just marketing, isn't it? It's nothing new. It's nothing new. It's just marketing. But what he has done, he has brought a new audience into the trading world. So that's what he has done, which is great. Stop. Where would your stops go? Well, your stop needs to go. There's your entry. Your stop has to go. Oh, wait, that's the wrong way around. We're going for longs, aren't we? Right there. Long position. There's your entry. Previous daily high retest. There you go. You need to take some off here because there's an order there. It's now moved. The order has now moved. It's gone down. This could go higher now. So, you know, this is your target. There's your target. That stop, that's now been moved. I think we go higher now. That's your setup. Has to go here. Now, once you go on the 100 tick chart and you might want to break a high. So if we can get above this high here at 22,874, you might want to then bring the stops up to 22,857. So 22,857. You might want to bring the stops to 22,857. if we keep moving if we break a high on the 100 tick chart, and then all of a sudden it goes like that. So 100 tick chart, just use your pivots. If we break this high here and hold, get up here, then you can move your stops. Hope that makes sense. If you're long at the moment. But what you don't do is you don't chase now, because if you used to jump in a long now, yeah, your stops, I've got to start here. That is not a good risk to reward, is it? So, you know, if you break the high and wait for a retest, then you might want to bring your stops to here, something like that. But I don't know, because that's a late entry for me, so I wouldn't go that way. Good morning, everyone. Sorry I'm late, but happy to be here. No problem. Obviously, Claudio, this is the last live stream that I've been doing, but you are in the community, so I'll speak to you every day anyway. What if it retests? Retest where, Stina? Let me know where you mean retests. It could, if you mean, could it retest again? Absolutely, yeah. You could try and get in again. I like to get in on the initial retest, which is here. Once I broke, I like that. There's my entry. But again, you could do something like that. I mean, I wouldn't do that because I don't have a strategy or trade that way. If I miss this, it's very hard for me to get into the trend. So I don't get involved. The same as if I missed this, it's like I could get back in here maybe for that. But I don't like it because of trade location. See this? Don't like that trade location. See this? Don't like that. See that? Don't like that. I'm trying to stay away from the mess. I'm trying to stay away from trouble. So we'll see what happens, whether this is at 22,900. There is 29 contracts. At 22,880, there's still 29 contracts, all right, at 29,880. All right, so let's just put that. There is still some contracts, all right. So let's see. Let's see if this is a continuation to the upside or whether this is just going to be a lower high. We will see. Oh, by the way, today I might go to this place to get this dessert. So if you're not following me on Instagram, you want to follow me on Instagram, you might take a picture of this dessert. I've been thinking about it for a week and a half now. Got my first funded account down 1K. Okay, yes. Well, don't worry. I blew my first 5 funded accounts very quickly. It's a quick shift. Okay, so because you know you can make money quite quickly. So don't worry about it. The best of the best, they blow their accounts. So you know, just it's probably risk. Is it a 50K? Let me know if it's a 50K. I'm going to stay on for... No, it's not Biscoff, Stina. It's not Biscoff. Something different. So we'll see. Keep an eye out for it on Instagram. Got to finish this book this weekend. How many pages? 50K top step. Okay, a grand down. Well, you've only got 2K drawdown, so you're 50% into your drawdown already. I would say this. How many trades do you take a day? What's your risk parameters per day? So what's your capital you're willing to lose a day? If you say, for example, mine might be $1,000 a day, and I only want to trade twice, 3 times maximum. So depending on the price, depending on where I'm at, I know I can only risk $350 a trade if I'm going to do 3, or I can risk 500 if I want to do 2 trades. If I lose those 2 trades, I walk away and I accept the fact that I've lost that money. But you can't really do that on a 50K account if you just got it. So you want to think to yourself, well, how many trades can I take before I blow? So you should have the stats on your strategy that if you take your strategy 20 times, how many times does it win? So if it only wins 8 times, if your risk is correct, you'll be in profit big time. Stalling a little bit here. That is a good bounce. It could just be a slow grind because it's a buy the dip situation. I do believe that buy the dips all the way. I don't think we're reversing yet. I don't think we're going to reverse anytime soon at this time of day, 3 hours before the NFP, initial jobs claims. I don't think that's going to happen. So we could have a slow move back and then a sell-off, or we could have a fast sell-off because one side's going to get hurt in the next 2-3 hours. My advice, get away, go and get a coffee, enjoy the afternoon sun with the family. Or if you don't have a family, hit the gym or do some work. It's my advice. But what I would be doing is wouldn't be on the chart. The order is still sat there at 22,880. The order is still sat there at 22,880. So Stina, this is what you was thinking about. This could be again, you could get the same entry. So it's not like, oh, well, what's the difference? If you was going to enter originally on the first one, then you could enter again on this one. You know, like I've said, for me, trade location, I'm not too sure. It is a long setup. Trade location, I'm not really a massive fan of. Don't like being in the middle of things. I only like to trade extremes. Okay, so extremes for me, as you know, the way that I trade are going to be Asia highs, one extreme. Not so much an extreme, but an important level. Previous day. So that's why I like this, because this is an extreme level. And then this is massive. This level's massive. Those are the 3 key zones that I would trade from today. I wouldn't trade from anywhere else. So this is an important zone. Anything I don't like, it's mid-range. It's in the middle, as you can see, of this moving to the upside. But it is a possible strong level. And it's very, very simple of where your risk goes. Only thing is, if you look at the 100-tick chart, we failed to break that high that I was talking about. Remember, I was talking about this high. We failed to break that high on the 100-tick chart. And if you have a look, if I go to, this is where the risk comes in. So it's not that the trade might not play out. It's your risk. Just think of your risk every single time. Don't think about what you can earn. Think about the risk, the risk, the risk, the risk. So there's your entry. All right, there's your entry, and you're looking for those highs, right? That's your entry. So think about it. I like it. I like the entry. I like the entry. But because I'm short, my bias is obviously short still. Would you get into a buy now at 22,850? 850. I wouldn't at 850. I would like to see what happens on this 5-minute candle, but that I would be in here. I would want to see it close above 858. Now it could shoot and go without you, but this close above 858 maybe. But again, for me, location. I don't know what your risk is. I don't know how far you want to go. I don't know whether you trade mid-range. I don't know whether you trade extremes. I don't know whether you trade liquidity spot. I don't know what you trade. I don't know. So, for me, I like the setup. I don't like the trade location. That's me. The setup's nice. I don't like the location. You might say, well, why not? I just don't like this price action here. I don't like this messing around. But it's a setup. Not all setups are going to work, by the way. Not all your setups are going to work. You've got to take risk, and you've got to understand that. Are you happy to lose? Someone asked me about best loser wins. Where was that? Just remembered. I missed it. Someone asked me about best loser wins. But yeah, I've read the book. Yeah, I read the book. I read the book a few times now. It's just there. I told you I've got, I don't know. I think I'm in about 140 books now over the last 8 years of this journey. And I've got, 14 books now here that I've not read yet. Hi, bro. Good to see you, Raj. Might come back to NY. I don't have it in New York on my charts. Yeah, you got to stay chilled. What's the worst can happen? You lost $150. $50 to pass it, 100 activation fee. It's interesting what happens here. Previous daily high, Fibonacci, and liquidity is being taken at the local range lows. So it makes sense for longs to get into the market here. Or maybe they want a cheaper price. Maybe longs want a cheaper price for later in the day. Three key lessons from your 8-year journey. Good question. Good question. Three key lessons. Wow. Wow. You know what? It's a very, very good question because I could talk about a lot. And as you know, I love to talk. I tell you what, one of them that stands out to me is accept who you are. Accept who you are. So if you are different from your crowd, from your upbringing, from your area, accept that. Don't try and be what the outside world wants you to be. And that comes from belief and confidence. So that's one thing. So accept who you are. And that's work because you have to rewire remember what the world perceives of you, you will perceive of yourself if you're in that environment for long enough. That's why children think they are what they are until they grow up. So definitely one, accept who you are. Two, your environment. Your environment has to be aligned with what you're trying to do. If you're in an environment where everybody's the same and everybody lives in a 9-to-5 world and nobody's interested in drive or ambition or going against the grain, you will be stuck in that. Even if you are different, you will get stuck in there. I know because that was me. You will get stuck and you'll have this horrible feeling that you're supposed to be doing something different and you're not supposed to be in this environment, but you don't have the knowledge to leave, fly the nest. And I would say move away from the city that you was brought up in or the area as quick as possible. The longer you remain in that area, the more you are going to be like everybody else in that area. That's that. And number 3 is become the person you need to be to warrant the success that you want. That's a very good lesson. Become the person you need to be that deserves the success that you want. It's all internal work, by the way, but the environment is external, but it's still internally you need to leave. That's what I would say. If I ever write a book, those are the types of things that I would talk about in the book. The book would be in relation to trading and success, but it would be based on life. I just add one of those aha moments when you said, determine risk first. Don't look at potential reward. Yeah, don't look at rewards. Don't look at rewards. If you look at rewards, you're still doing what you do in your child. I'm a parent, and it's very, very hard to get your kids in line when they don't want to get in line. It's very hard to not bribe them. And I still do it. Bro, I'll get you this. Let's get an ice cream if you can do this. So it's wrong, but sometimes it's the easiest way to do things. If you're trading and you're an adult and you are thinking about the rewards rather than the risk, you're going to get yourself messed up. You're going to get yourself messed up. You know? It's hard. It's hard. You've got to think of the risk. It's got to think of the risk. For example, you know, the other day again, £3,000 to someone, a coach, whatever, for a call and a little bit of information. Yes, £3,000 for one call and some information. That's what I spent. And again, like I said when I said it to my wife, she was like, but then she gets it. But if I said that to one of my friends, they say that's just stupid. And I'm saying, well, think about it. What's the risk? The risk of me not knowing what I need to know from this person who is a multi-millionaire is costing me way more than £3,000. Way more. By me not knowing. It's costing me maybe hundreds of thousands of pounds. So do you see the risk to reward? Same with trading. If you don't determine the risk and you get into a trade and you see $300 and then fear kicks in or greed kicks in and you close that trade, well, what if your stop loss was at $400 and you didn't think about your stop loss? The next time you do that, guess what's going to happen? You're going to close at 300, and then the next trade you're going to lose 400, and you're going to be $100 down. So you really, really need to not take profits if your risk starts higher. Now, as the trade goes, you can move stop losses and things like that. I get that. Protect your downside, of course. But you know, if not, for example, if you like this trade now and the setup, then your risk is your risk. But your risk is long position. You know, say you did get in round about here. Just say you got in here at the previous day. You know, and that's the risk. Okay. 1.7 to 1.8 is a sweet spot. All right. So you know that you've got to risk 14 points to gain 30 points. 28 points. Yeah? So you might risk $100 to get $200. But if you close at $80 and then you take the same setup in a minute, well, you're going to be $20 down, aren't you, when you lose it? You know? Iona, thank you for all the amazing live streams. I've learned so much from you over time, and your energy also stood out. I'll miss the lives, but I'm grateful to have been part of the journey. No problem. I know you're in the background. In the community, you're in the background. So I'm glad that you have passed funded accounts via this content. Jim Jats, hey friend, glad that I found you here and hopefully see you in Bali or Switzerland. You'll see me in one of those places one day. I can tell you that for sure. Definitely Switzerland. The Euros is in Switzerland at the moment. Switzerland's always been one of those places. I've never been, but it's always like, maybe I could retire in Switzerland. I'll never retire, but maybe I could, you know. But yeah, I don't know. I've learned so much from those live streams, being super valuable to me. Thanks so much for doing that. Much appreciated. No problem. I'm glad that you found value. This would be the long opportunity that we was talking about. Is anybody in the long, by the way? Because this is a setup for a lot of people. Is anybody in the long? Imagine some people in the community are in this long. Hey, there you go, Raj. Appreciate that, by the way. Yeah, appreciate that. Always forget about the codes. Not a massive fan of codes and things like that. When I was with Top Step, it was great because, you know, Top Step are very, very trustworthy and we stuck with one. But thanks for using the code. It buys me a Cortado. Buys me a Cortado. Yes, you're in the long. Nice. I'm from 856. There you go. 856. That previous daily. It is holding. Nice. Remember, 880. Contracts are still sat there at 880. Nice to see you in longs. Steve. Danrick. Johnny FX. The Pop Stop Gourmet Popcorn. Target that IB high. Okay. Got 550Ks. Nice. Beautiful. Love it. Absolutely love it. This is, what time is it? Yeah, we're not quite at the 50 mark yet. I would have liked that to have been around. Wait there. Yeah, 55. There you go. What did I say, people? If you look at this, time in Windows. Clone. Minute 50. Was there. Clone my minute 10. Minute 10. There. Hit the level. Shifted. Retest. There you go. There you go, people. There's my windows, so there's no coincidence. So I'm not going to jump in this trade just purely because I'm in this short. So I'm going to see what happens. That is now a higher low on here. If we can break that. I think if we get one more, maybe if we get... The only thing I don't like is if we hover around here. That's what I don't like. Let's have a look here, see if we can get on motive wave quickly. Hopefully it doesn't I have to take one off here.
Order
I
filled.
have to take one off here because this looks like it wants to reverse back to the upside. So we're just going to keep that one. Where's motive wave? It doesn't want to load. God, I hate motive wave sometimes. I love the platform, but why does it not want to load? I don't know. Maybe it's a sign. I always think when your software doesn't want to load, it means it doesn't want to get you in a trade. I wish I had been present on all of your streams, sir. It was always a pleasure to learn from you. Still believe you'd be a great narrator or make a podcast. Podcast, maybe one day in the future. When you're building, it's kind of strange. When you're building, you need to get rid of things to build new things. One thing I learned when someone was talking about people want to build things and they want to just keep adding and then the quality goes down. You need to get rid of something that's not working or is not as valuable to then build something else. So my wife said she wanted to do a podcast with me, which was good. So plenty of things in the future. Like I say, I'm looking to keep building this for another 5 years, this business. Did you remove all your live streams from YouTube? Yes. So they've now all been removed. I put them on unlisted. Declutter. Can we see OI? Yojesh. Not sure what that means. Besides heavy manipulation and being oversaturated by scammers, what else you don't like about the Forex market? And what do you like more about futures compared to the others as in general? Besides the heavy manipulation and being, what else you don't like about the... There's not much else I can add to that in relation to the manipulation and the scammers in the saturated market. So there's not much more I can add to that, to be honest. That's enough to scare anyone off. But futures, one entry level barrier. Prop firms are cheaper for people to learn. 2, highly regulated through the CME. 3, majority of the prop firms can't they can't tinker with the brokerage and things like that. So they can't deny a payout on some fake news that they've manipulated. They can't do that. So it's highly regulated. So a lot of trust in Forex and in futures. And for me, it was a natural transition from crypto. Because I only trade NQ, but maybe I could do natural gas. Maybe I could do this in the future or whatever. And as we grow, then I will be trading more assets in the next few years. We will see. And then you talk about options. So options is something that I'll be looking into next year. But again, one thing at a time. One thing at a time. I think I've got a book on that. There you go. The one thing. Try and get the one thing done. I have a problem with bouncing around because my mind is so creative, because I like creating things, but that's a problem for me. So I'm very good when I concentrate on one thing and get one thing done, but I have a problem to bounce around. It's just the way my creative mind. I don't see it as a problem. I see it as a blessing, to be honest. This is Forex. Are you doing options? No, I don't trade Forex. I trade futures. Find what's good for you. If you make money from it, stick with it. That's it. No one's right or wrong in whatever they do. I'm sure all the Forex scammers will be jumping into futures anytime soon, and they'll ruin futures for a while. Right then, team, I am shooting. So I appreciate the support that you have brought onto these live streams over the last 6, 7, 8, 9. I think we're in back to 11 months. Again, we will not be doing live streams, but look out for our YouTube videos as always. We'll be looking to add and sprinkle in when necessary without saturating it. We'll be looking to add in more stuff on the YouTube channel, give you a little bit more, not just psychology, maybe give the other things, maybe sometimes just the things that I do as well. So look out for those things. If you want any of my help, you know where it is. Under video, there is a link that you can come and work with me. You can jump on a call with me to see if you're a good fit for me and we're a good fit for you, and getting you trading to the level that you need to be trading at. Capable. So when trading the NQ, what news do you look to avoid? As in, what news are you trying to be aware of? So I avoid, obviously today, I avoid CPI, PPI, any Fed speeches, any Trump speeches, things like that. Fran, let's trade Forex all together and manipulate the market by ourselves. No way, I'd stay well clear from Forex. So how much money can one make here with minimal and wants the minimal investment? Jess, that's a completely the wrong question. I understand it. You're brand new. And that's what everybody takes when they come into it. Get away from that. Get away from thinking how much money can you make when you first come into trading. It's a wrong question. The question should be asking, how long would it take you to master a process that then the money becomes a byproduct? That's the question. Forget the money. Forget the money, Yojesh. They're the questions we all ask when we first get into trading, and it's the wrong question. Thank you for the live streams from Kai Nagar. Thank you for all the shared knowledge, positivity. No problem, Claudio. And Jebbe's put, friend, you've helped me a lot, especially minor set and psychology. No problem. I love teaching. So, as always, God bless each and every one of you. You know where I am. Look out for the future YouTube videos. If you want to be a part of our community, look out for a potential newsletter that will be coming out soon. And if not, we wish you all the best success to all in your trading journey. And God bless each and every one of you. So big thank you, Kavers from the Pacific. No problem. Roger saying, I only trade stocks. Can I make more money trading Forex and futures? If you trade stocks, I would trade futures. I've been doing well trading stocks in the past 12 months. Futures will be a simple transition, Roger. A very, very simple transition. So I would be doing that. As always, God bless, and I will see you on the next YouTube.